Hey, how the devil are you? Well, you're right. Anyway, ooh, have a look at this. Draw your eyes to that. Right. Anyway, so I had an email from someone called Paul Dolden. Right. Paul Dolden has his own channel. He does Paul Dolden Details. Sorry, Paul, if I pronounced that incorrectly. So check that channel out. He cleans cars very well, I must add, or details cars, gets them looking really dirty, stinking, gets them really clean. Quite therapeutic watching it. So check his channel out. Have a little look. I'll put a link in the description below. But he was looking for a CD player, but didn't want to spend a lot of money. And he bought one of these and he recommended it to me. He showed me the make of it, whatever. So I checked it out and I thought, this is a very interesting model. So I bought one myself. Now, this is, what is it called? This is the DVP, Sony DVP S725D. I got it there on the manual there. We can't see it out of shot. Now, the reason why this interests me is it's got a couple of nifty things on it, but also, unlike modern sort of DVD players and Blu-ray players or 4K Blu-ray players, the modern ones can play CDs, but it's an afterthought. And if you want to see what track you're playing, you've got to put the TV on to see what track you're on, etc., etc. But with this one, you don't have to, because it's not just a dedicated DVD player, it's actually a dedicated CD player. And it plays video CDs. Now, a lot of these sort of things that came out years ago passed me by. And I think it's because I didn't have any money, right? You know, all these things like SACD, DVD audio, Blu-ray audio, CD video CDs. All I was tape, albums and CDs. That's it. Okay. So all these things passed me by. I have ordered a video CD. I don't have it here with me yet. But I'll do a separate video on that. We'll have a little look at it and see if it works in this machine. Anyway, so let's have a little bit of a closer look. And here it is. Ooh. Right. So here's the on-off switch here. It's got quite a reassuring click. Makes it sound a bit more expensive, like it's well made. You know, listen to this. You hear that click then, and then clicks on. I like that. So, on the right, we've got a headphone socket with a volume. And there you see the display there. We'll come to that in a second. The headphone sounds pretty good. Not bad at all. I was pleasantly surprised at how good the headphone socket sounded. Then we go over here. This is the virtual 3D surround mode. This is obviously, this was when it was built, it was made to connect to a receiver and you could have different surround modes. So it's got, I don't know what that is. What that is, normal surround, enhanced surround, rear shift, multi-rear and off. So I keep it off, I'm just using it for CDs. Then you've got shuffle there, so you can shuffle, it'll shuffle the tracks for you and play them in different order, whatever. Got clear there. Okay, you can program in your tracks you want there, and you got repeat then if you want to repeat the disc or just repeat the track. Look how nice and clear that display is there. Oh, have a listen to this as well. So the draw, it's really well built. It's like a lot of drawers in modern machines today are actually quite plastic, and I think it's because not many people are manufacturing them anymore. But this draw's really well built and it goes in and out quite nice. I mean, it doesn't really matter. See how nice that goes in? It doesn't really matter. Just wanted to play a CD, but I thought I'd point that out anyway. So, open, close. Then we got play, pause, stop. You got your search button here. Now, this is a handy little thing. So if you watch here, right? If you watch here now. So I can go to the next track, right? 1, 2, but I can just jump. So I can go to the next track or go back a track, whatever, right? But if it's playing, let's play it first. I can jump, I can literally skip 5 or 6 tracks and go to track 10. Anyway, I'll just skip that. Maybe I'll go to track 10. Oh, do you know what? I didn't want track 10. I think I wanted track 5. Blip, 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 blip. How cool is that? I do like that. That's pretty nifty. Stop that. Then you've got like a jog wheel here. Now this is, you can use this for fast forwarding the CD, but this is also used, you press the jog button here, right? And you can jog the DVD back and forth. Now, I had a bit of a trouble trying to play a DVD in it and connecting it up because it's got older connections, but I have solved it. So we will have a look at the DVD later. Even though I'm using this as a CD player, we've got to have a look at the DVD, of course. So you press that and you can jog it around like that. Jiggity jog. Then you've got some buttons here for DVD menu, title, and what's that say there? I can't flip and see it. Return, I think that is. So therefore the DVD settings. Anyway, let's have a little look on the back. Ooh. Okay, here's the back of it. Right, so what we got on here? Okay, in the corner, fighting out the red corner, we got digital out, optical and coaxial. Then you got video out, S-video. Now, didn't really use this much in the UK, S-video. I think it was more so in the US. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the US tend to use S-video more than video out and SCART. Then you got your component here, then you got your SCART. So it's got 2 SCARTs on there. Now I'm not sure if it's a pass-through, this from the TV. So you would connect this one to your TV, it's got TV on there, and connect this one to AV2 it says, but VCR. So I'm assuming that they obviously don't want to connect this up so you can pirate DVDs, because that would be very naughty, and I would never do such a thing. Tee-hee. And so I'm thinking whether this, if you wanted to record from the TV, and it only had 1 SCART on the TV, then it would pass through here to the VCR so you could record. I'm assuming, I'm guessing. Then you've got RCA audio out here, just your normal left and right RCA. So you can connect that to any amp you want to, bam, straight in. So that's handy. But be aware, if you use the RCA, you're going to be using the DAC in this machine. And if you use the digital coaxial out, you're going to be using the DAC. If your amp has a DAC, you're going to be using the DAC in the amplifier. Or an external DAC if you wanted to use an external DAC. Then you've got your 5.1 output. Now, obviously, back then, AV receivers didn't have HDMI and things like that, so you had to jump through hoops to get 5.1s around, I'd imagine. I never had an AV receiver back in 2000, so I don't know. But according to the manual, you would connect this back into the back of the AV receiver to get your 5.1 rear channel, front channel, whatever. Then you got your center. Now it seems it's got woofer there and center there, so I'm wondering, maybe I'll check the manual later, it was the center only mono. I don't know, possibly, and that's for your woofer there. Don't know, that's for your sub. Now, I did try to get a picture out of this because I want to test the DVD. I want to have a look at it, see what it's like. But the component, I couldn't get it to work with my television. I'm not sure if the TV's not compatible. I did get a picture and a bit of sound, but the picture was in black and white. And it was really grainy, so it wasn't really watchable, okay? But then I came up with a cunning plan. So this is my cunning plan. Ta-da! It's a SCART to HDMI. Here's your input there and your HDMI output. Now this came with all the leads. It's got a HDMI cable there. If I can untangle the flipping thing, hang on. Right, it's got a HDMI cable there. It comes with. Is it the best HDMI cable in the world? Nah, but it does the job. So it's got a built-in SCART lead there. And then And the only drawback is you do have to, it does need power. But it gives you the lead there. It's a I think it's a USB. Yeah, it's USB-C, micro USB. That's what it is. There we are. I thought it was USB-C. It's a micro USB. Bonk in there, and you need to plug that into any phone charger. I use an old Roku plug. There we are, and it worked fine. There you go. So all you have to do is you plug the SCART in the back of this, thus so, yoink, power it up, plug that in, zap, and then you plug your HDMI into your TV up there, Poink, plug it in there. Right, let's get it connected up and see how it looks. Because I do want to show you that jog thing on the front. That was quite fun to use. So there you go. There's the DVD. Actually, for DVD, it's an SD, standard definition. It's actually not a bad picture. It's pretty good. Obviously, nowhere near today's standards, 4K or even 1080. But for DVD, it's quite a clear picture. It's more than watchable. Anyway, let me just show you this jog function. Go for a jog. Right, so what you do, you hit jog here, boink, like that, right? And then you can go forward, you can go backward, or I can jog it back. So if you've got a favourite scene you want to watch and have a little good look and you've missed a bit, you can just do this. I thought that was a pretty cool function. Phoenix Nights. Hilarious. Yes. Anyway, so far, so good. Is there anything wrong with it? Well, not particularly. The only few things that as a downside, it will literally only play DVD, CD and video CD. Nothing else. It won't play recordable CDs. And where did I put that? It won't play DVD audio. And that's probably because Sony were more invested in SACD, and this was a Toshiba initiative, DVD audio. There was a format war between the two, SACD and this. So obviously Sony didn't want you playing these in their players, did they? Right. Anyway, that's another story. So it won't play anything else other than those formats. The other thing is the remote control. No, the remote control's got all the functions on it, nothing wrong with it at all. It's the bloody size of the thing. What the flip? It's massive. It's a ridiculously huge remote control. I don't understand why they made it so big. Maybe it's because of the wheel on there or something. They've got that jog sort of facility on here. That's why it was so big. That's my Blu-ray player, my 4K Blu-ray player remote. Teeny compared to it. I mean, I might take this down the beach and go surfing on it. And for those of you who noticed, I do actually have toes on my left foot. They just got cut out of the shot. Anyway, right. So with that aside, that's the downsides of it. Giant remote, and it only plays certain formats. Okay, but I only use normal CDs. They're out the shot. They're just there, and so it doesn't bother me at all that much. Right, it's fine. But how does it sound playing CDs? Well, very good indeed. Plays CDs really, really well. Now I tested, my normal test CD is Pete Tong with a Heritage Orchestra, Ibiza Classics, fantastic. It's got everything on there you need to test a CD player, an amp, speakers, anything, really, really good. It's got orchestral instruments, singers, female vocals, male vocals, bass, you know, it's got everything on it. So it's really good to test hi-fi equipment out. Now, here's the thing. What I didn't realize is that, I wrote it down. So thank you to Lofty Visions, okay? Lofty Visions said, there's another 2 CDs with the Heritage Orchestra. And I was like, what the deuce? My ears pricked up, what? So he said, there's another 2 CDs, so what did I go and do? I went and bought them. It's Pete Tong and the Heritage Orchestra with Classic House. Oh, fantastic. And Pete Tong and the Heritage Orchestra, Chilled Classics. All 3 albums, fan-blinking-tastic. Anyway, so I tried this CD player out with all 3 of these CDs. Give it a good workout. Now, what I found is that the onboard DAC on that is, considering it's 22 years old, maybe more, maybe a bit less, but around about there, is flipping good, right? So what I did, I connected it up to the Leak amp via the RCA, so it uses its own DAC. And then, but I also connected it up from the coaxial into the Leak. And I could switch inputs back and forth. Okay, it's not tennis, by the way. So I could switch inputs back and forth to see whether the coaxial, so they're using the DAC in the Leak, would sound any better than the DAC in this, and it didn't. I really couldn't tell the difference. And by all accounts, the Leak Stereo 230 has a very good DAC in it, very high spec. So isn't it mental when you think about it, right? That over 20 years, that the modern DACs still don't sound any better than the DACs from 20 years ago. Like, surely they would have made some improvements. I mean, speakers have come a long way, but when it comes to DACs, I don't know. I'm sure that if you paid for a DAC that was £500 to £1,000 plus, you probably will get maybe a bit of a better sound, but you know, to me, it's got a great DAC in it. You don't need an external DAC. Fantastic. Like, here's the downside. Here's the downside. You know, if you watch me regularly, you know how much I love a sound test. Oh, I love a sound test. However, because it can't play recorded CDs, CDRs, right? I can't play any royalty-free music. There's no way I can play royalty-free music through the CD player, so I can do a match, so I can match the DACs. Because what I wanted to do was test the DAC in this against the DAC in that, and I'm not sure if that's in shot, but also the DAC, and compare it to my Rotel CD player as well, and do a comparison between all 3. Wouldn't that have been good? Ooh, fuming. But so what I'll have to do, I got to do a sound test. I have to. But if I do one of these CDs as a sound test on this video, it'll get demonetized. I'm skint. I need the money. So I don't want this video to get demonetized, okay? Or potentially get a well, it won't get a copyright strike. It just demonetized the video, and the money will go to, you know, the writers and producers for these CDs. Quite rightly so, okay? But what I'll do a separate video with the sound test, okay? So I'll put a link here in the description below, so you can listen to that. So you don't miss out on one of my fantastic, amazing, spectacular sound tests, okay? So watch out for that. Anyway, so my final thoughts on this is for 40 quid with delivery. I know you're having a laugh, innit? Right? 40 quid for this. It's not just a DVD. This is a piece of hi-fi equipment. It really is. And it still holds its own today easily against other CD players in the £500 to £1,000 price bracket, I would say. It's fantastic. Got loads of features on there. And if you want to play DVDs, if you've got some old DVDs in the cupboard you want to watch, boom, there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Look out for my sound test, okay? And I'll catch you in the next one.